Smartphones and social media have become the norm. According to the Pew Research Center, about 70% of Americans use social media and 77% use smartphones, with young adults being the most frequent users. But while computing has become more mobile, people have remained sedentary. At most, only 5% of adults in the United States do 30 minutes of physical activity per day, and a third get the recommended amount of physical activity each week. Unfortunately, sedentary behavior is associated with childhood obesity, high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and cancers. To fight against this unhealthy lifestyle, strides must be made to encourage exercise and promote healthier behavior. Instead of fighting against the wave of technology, we must use it to our advantage.
We propose launching an expansive yet localized public health campaign that partners with stakeholders in the community, including city councils, institutions, nonprofit organizations, and businesses, leveraging the power of social media to create positive, community-based changes in physical activity rates.
One of the main barriers to increasing physical activity in young people is the negative effect associated with exercise. People generally dislike getting exhausted, especially if there's no immediate reason to get tired. To tackle this barrier, we want to transform negative perceptions of physical activity from being a tedious task to a source of community building to encourage prolonged, sustainable activity. We plan to organize competitions of various scales throughout the Los Angeles metropolitan area, where participants would be encouraged to form and join teams that compete to accumulate physical activity over time, to win prizes for themselves and for their communities. Some prizes would be tangible in nature, but the ultimate prize would be a better appreciation and maintenance of better health.
We plan to launch our intervention in the United States, where the obesity rate, alongside social media and smartphone usage rates, are among the highest in the world. Specifically, we want to target young adults in Los Angeles. According to the 2013 LA Health Atlas, LA experienced high levels of income inequality. The lowest per capita income averaged just over $10,000, with the highest over $128,000. Statistics also showed that in the areas of low per capita income, there tended to be a higher percentage of young adults 18 years and younger. Additionally, race correlated with health disparities, with non-white Angelenos receiving poorer quality treatment than white Angelenos. They also tended to aggregate in more impoverished areas of Los Angeles as well.
The feeling of belonging to a community is a key altering behavior. That is why we intend to partner with important community stakeholders that are influential within our target population. These include universities like UCLA and USC, local city councils like the ones in Santa Monica and Los Angeles, nonprofit organizations that are devoted towards promoting physical activity, such as Students Run LA, and local businesses including restaurants, grocery stores, and sports apparel shops. Partnering with them will help promote the intervention and provide human and material resources towards the competition. Popular student athletes who go to the school or associated with it will be recruited to be fitness leaders. These fitness leaders will use Instagram Live and Facebook Live to broadcast and share their workouts with their participants. The competitive design of the intervention will incentivize student participants to voluntarily sign on by making their own teams or competing with their friends. By creating such localized communities, participants will be able to engage in healthy behaviors such as regular physical exercise. Through Strava, participants will be able to see their workout and performance rates. Since our intervention is driven by online social networks, our physical intervention will be accompanied by a large social media campaign catered to the LA region. At the center, Facebook and Instagram will be used to promote physical activity through social media posts containing infographics, instructional videos, and promotional activities. In addition to infographics, the campaign will feature short videos that provide tips and instructions for physical exercise. All posts will be shareable to create the opportunity for enrollees to share the information with their own personal networks.
Critical to increasing physical health rates would be introducing and sustaining usage of an existing social media and fitness app called Strava into the population.
Strava is a fitness tracking tool with the elements of a social media network integrated into it. Users can record their workouts, log them, and post them all in one seamless process. And then people who follow you, including your friends, family, and colleagues, can give kudos to your workouts and comment you congratulations for your efforts. You can even share your activities on Facebook or Instagram, where your social networks on those platforms can then see your hard work. Posting activities is an essential part of our intervention because studies have shown that support from friends and colleagues are important factors in sticking to a workout regimen. Competition is another factor that will be utilized in our intervention because it is a significant motivator behind physical activity. Strava invites competition by allowing users to form their own Strava clubs with their own friends or by joining existing ones, like for instance an official UCLA Strava club. This allows leaderboards to form for anyone to see and for physical activity rates to be analyzed both within and among groups. Users can earn achievements and badges for improving their performance along certain routes, and they can also complete challenges that Strava creates for anyone to sign up. Oftentimes, those challenges come with their own rewards, from partner sponsorships like discounted running shoes, or simply bragging rights for completing the most mileage for your team.
6 months before initiating the first competition, we begin contacting community stakeholders, including potential athletes, institutions, city councils, and data analysts. When the first competition period begins, Angelinos start signing up for the program. Smaller, month-long regional competitions also take place with community events and accompanying health education programs. After the competition period has ended, we will analyze the data that we collect to make changes for the next 9-month competition period. Our annual budget of $10,000 will be spent towards setup, partnerships, advertising, data collection, and other costs.
Throughout the competitions, we will be extracting data using the Strava app. There will be 3 different types of competitions: the inter-school competition, the intra-school competitions, and the group competitions. During the inter-school competitions, we will be monitoring the number of individuals signed up on each team. Since individuals sign up under the name of a school based on the area they live in, we will be able to identify any regions within Los Angeles that are significantly less active. As a result, we will be able to target these regions with additional community events that will increase awareness on the importance of physical activity. We will also gather information on the average distance traveled to see if there is an increase in physical activity over the 3 years. This will allow us to evaluate the effectiveness of our intervention, that is, using social media to promote physical activity in the young adult population. Furthermore, follow-up studies can be done to see whether external factors such as social, cultural, or economic factors have an impact on the amount of physical activity done per week. Contrary to the inter-school competitions, the intra-school competitions will provide us with the continuous data since they will be organized throughout the year. This will give us the opportunity to study the effectiveness of different types of advertising methods and the popularity of different social media. We will also evaluate whether the videos posted by the athletes have a positive impact. To do this, we will see if we can find a trend between the average number of videos watched and the amount of physical activity done per competition. Finally, although the inter- and intra-school competitions are meant to motivate a large number of individuals to increase their physical activity, the overall goal is for these individuals to continue being active throughout the year, even during times without competition. To measure whether there is an increase in physical activity in everyday life, we will use the group competitions to look at the number of groups created, the total number of individuals participating, and the length of these competitions over the course of the 3 years.
Given our interventions focus on social media, we depend on the assumption that the majority of people in the Los Angeles area own smartphones and actively use social media. We also assume that people are familiar with using apps and are comfortable to have these apps significantly change their living habits. Additionally, if we were able to apply this intervention to other countries, cybersecurity laws particular to these countries would be relevant obstacles to consider. After every individual competition, we hope to use the data extracted from Strava to see what elements should be adjusted to improve the next competition trial. We plan to see an increase in physical activity within this age group over the 3 years. Based on what we learned from this intervention in Los Angeles, we hope to later apply our intervention to other countries. Used interventions will be slightly modified from the original, adapting to the popular social media outlet for each location and while also respecting potential government censorship within relevant countries. Partnerships with the schools and athletes of each community will be maintained and overall perception and participation of exercise would be increased and improved.